Now they can actually use Wi-Fi to see people through walls. Michael Snyder reports, if you truly wanted complete and total privacy, you would need to give up nearly all of the technology that you're currently using. I wish that wasn't true, but this is the reality of the world in which we now live. The Big Brother surveillance grid is constantly growing and evolving all around us, and those that are using it to watch, monitor, track, influence, and control us have an insatiable appetite for more data. They're constantly pushing the envelope, and most people don't seem to care. But if we don't stand up for our rights now, eventually we'll find ourselves living in a society where there is absolutely no privacy at all. In fact, many would argue that we are already there. Recently, I was horrified to learn that researchers have been working on a way to use Wi-Fi to look through the walls of our homes to see what we're doing. The following is a brief excerpt from a Vice article entitled "Scientists Are Getting Eerily Good at Using Wi-Fi to See People Through Walls in Detail." Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University developed a method for detecting the three-dimensional shape and movements of human beings and bodies in a room using only Wi-Fi routers. To do this, they used DensePose, a system of mapping all of the pixels on the surface of a human body in a photo. DensePose was developed by London-based researchers and Facebook's AI researchers. From there, according to their recently uploaded preprint paper published on ARXIV, they developed a deep neural network of maps that maps Wi-Fi signals, phase and amplitude sent and received by routers to coordinate to the coordinates on human bodies. As we have seen with so many other highly intrusive surveillance technologies, those that have developed this method are touting the benefits that it could have. The researchers agree that their Wi-Fi approach to imaging humans in households could be applied to home health care when patients may not want to be monitored with a camera in places like the bathroom or with their sensors and tracking devices. No matter how old I get, I don't ever want anyone using a technology to monitor me while I'm taking a dump in the bathroom. If that makes me old-fashioned, so be it. Sadly, this is not the first time that researchers have developed this sort of technology. Most people don't realize this, but scientists have been working on ways to see through our walls for about a decade. Researchers have been working on seeing people without using cameras or expensive LiDAR hardware for years. In 2013, a team of researchers at MIT found a way to use cell phone signals to see through walls. In 2018, another MIT team used Wi-Fi to detect people in another room and translate their movements to walking stick figures. Did you know that cell phone signals can be used to see through walls? Well, I didn't, neither did I. Of course, cell phones are probably the most comprehensive surveillance devices ever created, and the vast majority of us willingly carry them around wherever we go. If you don't get what I'm talking about, perhaps this information from the American Bar Association will help you to understand. Depending on the number of apps installed, a cell phone may send data regarding its location thousands of times per day. Indeed, some phone apps will share as many as 200 individual time-stamped location data points within a 12-hour interval. These data are sent in real time to multiple companies, each of which can track the phone in real time or retrace the phone's path by analyzing the logged historical data. According to the Times, every minute of every day, everywhere on the planet, dozens of companies, largely unregulated, little scrutinized, are logging the movements of tens of millions of people with mobile phones and storing the information in massive data files. Location data are collected by companies along with millions of other data points, commonly packaged and sold as marketing analysis to advertisers, financial institutions, real estate investors, and other third parties. Location data are particularly lucrative to advertisers who use it to determine the places people frequent and the times they go to these locations. Nothing you do on your cell phone is private, ever. And your cell phone makes a record of every location that you visit. So you better not get into trouble while carrying your phone, because law enforcement agencies can use cell phone data to follow people's movements months back in time. Local law enforcement agencies from suburban Southern California to rural North Carolina have been using an obscure cell phone tracking tool, at times without search warrants, that gives them the power to follow people's movements months back in time, according to public records and internal emails obtained by the Associated Press. Police have used fog reveal, quote unquote, to search hundreds of billions of records from 250 million mobile devices and harnessed the data to create location analysis known among law enforcement as patterns of life, quote unquote, according to thousands of pages of records about the company. We really do live in a Big Brother society, and there's no going back. In fact, things will only get worse in the years ahead. Last week, I was greatly disappointed to learn that Ford has just patented technology that can remotely control your vehicle. Ford Motor Company has filed for a patent on technology that could remotely shut down your radio or air conditioning, lock you out of your vehicle, or prompt it to ceaselessly beep if you miss car payments. Ford said it has no plans to use the technology contained in just one of the many patents filed by the automaker making giant. Still, it emerges as a troubling time for car owners. Loan delinquencies have been steadily ticking back up from their pandemic lull, and Cox Automotive data showed severely delinquent auto loans in January hitting their highest point since 2006. The use of technology to aid repossessions is not new, but the patent application is wide-ranging, even proposing the idea that an autonomous vehicle could drive itself to a more convenient location to be collected by a tow truck. I don't think that I will be buying a Ford anytime soon. Of course, it's just a matter of time before all of the auto companies are using similar technologies. A decade ago, I included several cutting-edge surveillance technologies in a novel that I wrote, but since that time, the Big Brother surveillance grid has gotten exponentially more intrusive. So why aren't more people upset about this? Why aren't such technologies a major political issue? They've herded us, all of us, into a giant technological cage, and the vast majority of the population has willingly accepted it, it appears. So they're just going to keep pushing things even further, because at this point they are experiencing very little resistance at all. And this is by Michael Snyder. He says, about my author, my name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 70-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing. And one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I have published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. This is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box